Yesterday we looked at the fear of the Lord, and we remember we talked about the fact that fear here is not dread or unpleasant emotions or the coming of evil or danger, but rather it's a respect, esteem, worthy of respect kind of a fear, totally different than the way we use the word fear today. Deuteronomy 10:12 says, "Now, O Israel, does the Lord your God require, what does he require from you? But to fear the Lord your God, to walk in all of his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul." Well, what are the things that we're supposed to do when we fear the Lord? Well, the first thing that I noticed was that there were at least 5 or 6 verses, 3 of which are in Deuteronomy 14:23, 17:19, and 31:12, that says that we need to learn to fear the Lord. That means it doesn't come naturally. We can't see him, but we certainly can learn about him, and that brings about our respect, our esteem, and brings about the true meaning of the word fear. We need to learn it. We need to learn that our esteem and our respect needs to go to him. The second thing that it says in Deuteronomy 8:6 is that we're to walk in the fear of the Lord. That is, not just to learn it, but then to live it. Psalm 86:11 says the same thing, that we're to walk in a way that we fear the Lord, that we respect him, and it's not just a knowledge, but a living out. In Deuteronomy 10:20 it says we're to serve him. Now you notice that it also says that in Deuteronomy 10:12, to serve the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul. And then we're to praise him. In Psalm 22:23 it says to praise him. That's the esteem, that's the respect, that's the worthiness. And we're also to observe his statutes, that is, to observe his commandments and his ways to live. We're to observe his statutes. That's Deuteronomy 6:24. And Proverbs 1:7 and 9:10 says that it's the beginning of knowledge, or the beginning of wisdom. It's really important for us to understand that this does not come naturally. The more we get to know God, the more we esteem him, the more we realize how worthy he is, the more we respect him. Now, there's some negatives and some positives to that, and we want to be looking at that tomorrow, but we know that one of the negatives is that we realize that he can at any time remove his hand from us. Doesn't talk about the fact that we should fear losing salvation, but we certainly know that God can remove his hand of protection from us. He did that with Job. No fault of Job's, but it's a fearful thing to realize that God could remove his hand of blessing upon us. The positive sides are there's a lot of great benefits in learning to esteem and to find worthy and respect God. And we'll be looking at those positive sides, all the benefits of learning to respect and to esteem him. I'm going to get political for just a minute. There's been a lot said about this kneeling during the football games, during the playing of the national anthem, and honoring the flag. I want to say that everyone has a right, and it's one of the freedoms of America that makes America great, to protest and to express their feelings. And football players have lots of financial ability to protest and to speak out. Because they're public figures, they have an opportunity as they're out in our society to voice their opinions about those things that they hold dear and those things that they're not happy with. But I don't think that the football field is the place to do that in the way that they're doing it. Because most Americans relate the national anthem and the flag to our country. I would hope that every football player, whether they're kneeling, whether they're joining arms, or whether they're holding their hand over their heart, loves our country. It's not a perfect country. It has lots of faults. But, you see, I still think it's the best nation in the world. I still think that if you want fairness, if you want justice, if you want equality, you can't find it anywhere else in the world as well as you can find it in America. Have we come a long way from discrimination and from all of the heartache and pain that many people have felt by oppression? Yes, we have come a long way. Do we have further to go? Yes, we do. Are there still policemen that are using their authority in a wrong way? Probably so. Are there people who are taking advantage of policemen and killing policemen and killing others in a way that is disgraceful and unlawful? And the answer is yes as well. But my friends, one thing we ought to do when we stand together as a society is we ought to respect our country and its flag. If it's not the perfect place where you want to live, you have the freedom to leave it. You have the freedom to run for office and change it. You have the freedom to speak out against it. But that's not a freedom to disrespect our nation and disrespect our flag. It's a controversial subject. The statistics I saw this morning on the news was 50% of Americans agree with the right of the players to do this. 50% don't agree. So it's divisive. And that's exactly what Satan wants. He wants us divided. I don't think we should be divided. I believe the majority, the vast majority, 95% of Americans want to make this a good country to live in, treating everyone fairly, treating everybody with respect. I really believe that. I believe it's just the 5% who stir up the trouble and cause the problems. Do they have the right to protest? Yes, they do. Should they show that protesting through disrespect of the national anthem or the flag? I don't think so. There certainly are other ways that they can do that, and they have the financial means and they have the platform with their notoriety to do that. So for me, I'm going to watch a lot less NFL football. I don't want to be part of division. Either side. I don't want to be with the players and I don't want to be against the players. I just want us to watch a good football game from time to time. And I'd like it to be free of any disrespect for anything. If they want to take a knee, the best little posting I saw on the internet the other day was, let's take the knee for the cross and let's stand in allegiance to our flag and to our country. And if we don't love it, we either need to try to change it through peaceful means and through proper ways, or we ought to leave it. I think it's the greatest nation in the world, and that's how I feel about it. I hope that you'll think about both sides of this issue, and you'll recognize that there are a lot of people. We talk about people being offended. There are a lot of people being offended when they've lost loved ones who came home with a flag draped over a casket. A lot of people who gave arms, legs, and lives so that we could have the freedom to stand, to kneel, or to lock arms. And that's my thought. God bless you and have a great day.